Alright, so we're live. Welcome to my third live stream ever. Just going to wait before I properly start just to see if there's any more people coming in, and then I'll just start explaining where I'm up to with the project. But if... so you are here. If somebody could just tell me if everything is set up, so like the music isn't too loud and you can hear me clear enough, just so I can adjust it before I properly start. But I think for now it's good, but I want a good mixture of the music in the background and obviously my voice. So let's just, because I've got no way of monitoring it because it interferes with the stream, so I'm going to rely on the chat to sort of tell me. So let's just refresh this, see who's here. You can hear me? Can you hear the music as well? In the background, is it a good? Are they all even? Barely hear the music. Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit. Is that better? Can you hear the music? There's a bit of a delay as well, so yeah, let's see. Is it good? Good. Right, let's get started. So this stream, the plan is to replace this grass foliage which I've downloaded. Can't hear no music. Still no music, no? Maybe it might just because I've got so many programs open, and I'm doing it all off one PC, so it's going to be quite heavy. Has the music gone off? You can hear it. Good. Let's just see if there's any more people coming in. I don't expect there to be many at all. I've only just started, but I have posted my links on Facebook, so let's just see who pops up. Three people, eh? Famous Nathan. So the plan is to replace all the grass which is downloaded, and create my own grass using SpeedTree, because even though this is optimized somewhat, the polygon counts on this grass a little bit too high. I could greatly increase performance by creating my own. That was the plan anyway. But since the last stream, all the foliage has been optimized. If I just pull up the last stream, I'll show you the difference in frame rates from what I was previously getting. So you can see with this one, the frame rates were quite low. You can see 20 frames. Without everything open in the background, all my programs and streaming, that will be 60. So I've managed to completely optimize all the foliage, and the way I've gone around doing this is there's two methods. I've set all my cull distances to the appropriate distances, so it's starting off at 200 meters, and we're fading out the first grass, which is the primary detail, at about 5,000 meters into the distance. As you can see where it starts fading away. Don't worry about that frame rate. Once I play, you can see it increases. So I've managed to do this for every bit of foliage. As you can see, I've gone in manually, I've set all my cull distances where I want them to start and end, and I've done a few different variations of grass. So for the primary grass, which is the close-up details, I've set the density to 80, so I want it to be a lot more denser, closer to the player, and I want it to fade out in density the further away. So I've set them up using multiple different grasses. As you can see, density fades as it drives off into the distance. And I've also managed to, in the foliage material, I've done a really clever way of blending in between the different LODs and distances, so you get this nice fade rather than a pop. As you can see, they just fade out nice and smoothly. Really nice transition. So if I just open the master material, this one, I've added these nodes, which is just, this is just a mask per instance fade amount. So this fades from white to black, so white being on, black being off. And this dither temporal AA is just a cheap way of blurring between that mask. So that's why I'm getting this really nice transition, which has helped massively with the foliage. As you can see, the frame rates went from 20 to 40, and again, this is at 2K. When I'm playing at 1080p, this will be 60, and that's my target frame rate for now. But for now, the foliage is set up really nicely. All the ground textures are finished, I'm happy with. The primary grass is all procedurally generated, meaning that it's obviously using algorithms to generate and place it rather than me having to manually paint everywhere, which has saved me a lot of time. But so far it looks really nice. I'm happy with it. But we're gonna actually create our own grass now, generating 3 different LODs, the high, medium and low poly, and we're going to blend between them, and should even get a better performance increase out of that. But what I'm kind of going for, because this Viking settlement is based sort of in a real world location, so this is going to be set in sort of an Icelandic environment, I'm going to be referencing my Google Maps, which is just a location I've found in Iceland, so I can get a good idea of what sort of plants grow native to this country, just to add to the realism. So I'm just going to place the character in here in the street views, and find a good location, find a good reference point so I can have a look at what sort of foliage is growing, and I can just build based off of what I'm seeing. So this is kind of the look I'm going for. I'm not too worried about the trees because I'll get into that later, but I'm more interested in the ground foliage. So let's just drive up here. So I'll be recreating this sort of bright clumpy grass. I'll get onto these little extra flowers later. So let's have a go at doing this in SpeedTree. So let's just find a good point where I can see the grass clearly, so I can see what I'm looking for. So you can see it's quite dense and quite fluffy, which is what I'm going to need to recreate. And this is why I need to be conservative with my poly counts, because if I'm going for high density foliage, it's going to take a lot of computer resources to render all of that foliage. So this is why I'm going to custom make them in SpeedTree. So for now, I'm just going to build a cluster, grass cluster. So I'm just trying to think about the best way to do this now. So I'll start with a standard trunk, and I'll just work off this. Trunk, I'll add a fronds. That will do for now. Obviously it's not going to be that big compared to the player, so we'll just reduce that in size for now. So length, drop that right down. Now I don't want my grass to be too tall, because obviously it doesn't grow too tall in this sort of environment, so I'm going to keep referring to this Google Maps. So I'm seeing, if I'm to eyeball, I'll add a variation, maybe from 10 to 15 centimeters tall, the grass. So we'll just try and get a good idea. So let's see, play. This is in meters, so that's about 5-6 meters. So we'll drop this right down. There. Skin, just turn this down. We're not massively interested in this trunk, so we'll just turn that into a spline for now, because that's just a placeholder for the fronds. That we do want to be a bit larger, so let's just oh no, is there no way of universally scaling this? Doesn't matter, we'll just do a 2. No, 2 and a 2. Let's see. Oh, there's 4 people watching now. Nice. Let's just refresh this. Who's here? This is why I don't like starting straight away. I want to try and get everyone to come in and just see who's in. But I'll quickly explain again, just in case you didn't see the start. But the plan is to create my own grass. These are just some I've downloaded from Quixel Bridge, and I'm using. They have been optimized. I've set all the different LOD poly counts and everything. I've created a nice blend between the different cull distances I've set to improve the performance in frame rate. And I've used a few cheap nodes to just fake a blend transition between them. And I've gone from 20 frames to 45. Bear in mind I am streaming and I've got other software, so that's impacting. But at 1080p my target frame rate is 60, and so far I'll be achieving that. So let's just get on with making some grass. So I'm going to use Quixel, might as well. I'll be using the atlases just to find some nice grass strands, and I'll work from them. So I could just use one of these and edit them, but for now I'm just going to individually create my different blades of grass. Or actually I could just save some time and use one of these templates. So let's just see what we've got and what we're working with. Hello to everybody watching. I can see you all in the chat. There is a bit of a delay, so my responses might be a bit slow. Yeah, that's not so bad. But I'm not looking for wheat, I'm just looking for grass. That's nice. That's I quite like that, so I'm gonna give this one a shot. Let's give that a download. I need a secondary grass detail, so I'm looking for something more stringy, a bit more loose I could work with. Something with a bit more curvature to it. They're not bad at all. I'll give them a shot. That's pretty cool. Ooh, that might work well. This, I'm going to use this. This is the one. Right, so I've got them downloaded. Do you know what? I can sort of skip this step then. So I'll create my material now and just get all this set up. So let's call this grass. This mic is a bit sensitive, so you will hear the chair and the keyboard and the mouse. I'm going to invest in some sort of soundproofing to go around the microphone to kind of block some of that out. So I do apologise for that. But right, I've just added a mesh. Do not want that, so let's just get rid of that again. Just remove that. It's not very intuitive, this software. So grass. So this is going to house my grass cluster, which I'm going to apply over the fronds. So let's just import my material. Let's just find it. Are we in atlases? Yeah. So grass lawn. That's one of them. I don't need that for now. Don't need that one. Was it that one? Yeah, it was this one, wasn't it? That's the one. So let's just plonk all my materials in here. Opacity, gloss. I'll use the roughness value for that one. Specular. And then translucency and subsurface, and then I'll just reuse that map for that one. Let's generate a mesh for this one. Let me just have a look. I'm not sure that's the right one I've just downloaded. Where was it? So it's got stringy bits there and there. Let's have a look in these maps. Yeah, this is the one. This is the correct one. So here I'm just setting up the actual mesh plane that this grass is going to use. So I'll just plonk these here. I'm just adding in some extra geometry and information just to work with. Now I'm thinking about where this is going to fold. So I do want to fold in the middle. So that's a good fold. I'll add some geometry there. And then I will want some folds around here. So that's a good starting point for a fold. No. Get rid of that. Don't need that. There's just extra geometry that's just not needed. So let's see how this one works. There's quite a lot of information there. There's 42 polys, so that's not bad. I'll be using about 3 or 4 of these. It's about 160. Now I'm already pushing the limit. My limit for this grass clump in terms of the poly count is 300 max, 250, 200 preferably. So I've got to kind of be a bit cautious here. So I'm trying to think about what detail I could sacrifice. I'll work with that for now. So let's just see. This isn't applied, so maybe I'll drop the poly count. Actually, no, let's just give this a shot, see what poly count this does. So that'll be the high poly. Good starting base. Remove them 2 for the mid poly. Still want the fold in the middle, so I don't want to lose that information. But for these, I could. I don't need that. Just remove that mask. And then this one could be the low poly. Don't need that information there. Just see what I can achieve if I do that. So that's not what I'm after. So I'll remove this information here. This will do. Pull these points down. Tighten them up. We're still trying to keep some information where we can get a nice fold. So that's a really good starting point for the low poly. So I'm happy with that. Let's give this one a shot. Apply this to the fronds. Enable 2-sided. There you go. Now it won't look great. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of tweaking and editing. So let's just get this some decent scale. That's a bit better. Let's just put this back to normal again, because I have messed with the settings here. So we'll just go back to 1 and 1. That's the more accurate scale. I don't know why that doesn't do anything. It would be nice if it did something. So that's what I'm after for now. That's a good starting point. That's 21 polys. Happy with that, and that's the high poly. So drop that down, and then leave that as is. We will just change the position. Leave that. That's not what I'm after. I'll just save some time, I'll do it in the mesh. So I'll just reposition this anchor point to be more in the center, because this is where I want it to sit on the ground. So let's just load that in there and place that there. Load that back and you can see it dropped. We'll load that one in and then place that there, and load this one in and place it there. There you go. So that's dropped now. So that's perfect. So let's change unification. Is it trunk mode and then? Well, it's not absolute. Which one was it? Is it parent maybe? Position isn't. It's not parent. Which one was it? So I know absolute is random. Number. Jumble. Spread them out a little bit. Interval, that's what I'm after. So this is just going to place them rather than in a just random orientation. It's going to sort of unify them in a specific direction. So as you can see, this just helps with the generation and placement. So for now I'm happy with that. We'll just decrease these boundaries just to tighten them up a little bit. So that will do. So this is just a start grass. So we're at 63 polys, which is really good. Limit 250 maximum, 300 pushing it. So for a starting base, 63. I'll add a few more. So would it be in the trunk? Yeah, frequency. Is it not? I can't remember. See, I'm still learning this myself, so I'm just trying to figure a few things out. Not the boundaries. Is it in here? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So I'll leave that. I think this, you have to, there you go, that's sort of what I'm after. Boundaries, we'll just turn, whoa, turn it up a little bit there, and turn this down. Too many, way too many. So I can count 1, 2, 3, so there's 6, total of 126 polys. So that seems okay for now. So let's just add some. Some variation to them. So we'll give it some curl, a little bit there, and then give it some variation. So it's curling in different directions. That looks okay. Not too happy with the way this mesh is set out. 1, 2, so this should be 3 folds. Let's just flatten this out. That's better, much better. So that's curving like that. Don't know what the hell happened to that one there. So let's just remove that for now. There you go. That's a more accurate. So add a tiny bit, then add some variation to get the different directions. Drop this a bit. Don't really want to use fold, so remove that. Roll. That's not bad at all. So that gives us some nice twist in there. Probably a bit too much there. You got to think about the normals as well, how the light's going to hit. If you're doing too many curls and folds, you're going to interfere with the normals too much and create artifacts in the shadows. So you want to just keep that in mind. So you want to be a bit quite sensitive when using these settings. Spread, yeah, add a bit of spread, spiral, spin them a little. 3 count limit. Don't want to mess with that too much. So let's just add a bit of variation in the rotation. So crank that up a little bit. Position, crank that up a little bit. Size, scaler, definitely play with that. That's okay. Boundaries, do want to tighten them in a little bit. It's not looking too bad. I'm not sure. I might keep this on. I don't know if I'm massively a fan of how they're spawning. I'll just keep it like that for now. That's a bit too far away. Right, that's much better. Much better. Probably could do with rotating them. Get a bit more variation on that side. So just plonk that there for now. So that's looking not so bad. What's the poly count on this now? 126. Right, so that's quite nice. I'm going to edit this now and add an anchor point because I want some secondary detail to spawn off this. So we'll position that here and stretch that up. What's this mesh? This is the high poly mesh. And then anchor point there for that one, and then same thing for this one. Happy with that. So let's add another material. So this is where the secondary leaf is going to attach onto this, just to give us some more variation. So let's just rename this second detail. Okay. Load in my maps. So let's just find that detail I've downloaded. So it was, I want this one. So just get all the maps in. Normals. Gloss, res of roughness, that'll do. Specular, that'll do. Definitely want the translucency. And same thing, use the roughness just for that one, it doesn't really matter. Do 0.8 for that. Quickly just do the same for that one. That's nice. So that's done. This one I want to keep as low poly as possible. So I'm going to use, don't want the anchor points. Going to use this, maybe just get that there right in the center, and if we can just keep this poly count as low as possible throughout the entire atlas, I'll be happy. And that gives us some nice folding. So I'll be happy to use that in all three. I'm not interested in creating high-low because that's already low poly. So what I can do now with these, the fronds, I can go into the material. I can actually add another material, a secondary detail. And I'm sure I can anchor this, so let's just think, or maybe I just add another one of these, attach it to this. No. Material, yeah, grass. Ah, that's supposed to be a leaf mesh. That's supposed to be a fronds, which is okay, no big deal. So let's just set this up. Right, add geometry. Are you sure? I'm sure. Yeah, my bad. So add leaf mesh onto the trunk. Don't want to see that for now. Same thing, we'll change this back to interval. Gen. Material. Grass clumps. Just do one, that's fine for now. Let's just sort the orientation. So sky facing, definitely want it so it's facing up, and then up 0.5 to get it completely vertical. Drop the position a little bit more until I'm happy with it. That's good. 126 polys. So I might end up stretching into the 300s here, which again isn't bad at all. So let's just drop. I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I don't need the 6th one. So we'll use knockout. Knock a few of them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, do you know what? I'll just delete one manual. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. So this one will be a sort of center grass. So position that one. Position that one. Happy with that, happy with that. And this one. Position there. That's good enough for me. And that's good. So let's just so that's not so bad. Let's get some deformation on this one now. So material, I cannot remember, so let's just place that one on that. Mesh index 1. I did that. Let me just load up another project. Just to figure out what's going on. Cluster 1, cluster 2. So I've got different materials on this. Right. No. I did it the other way around. So if there's enough undos to go back, I could just delete that. So that's fine. So add leaf mesh. That's the one. I just forgot for a second then. And then material. So I've added that to the fronds. So you can see there, you got the secondary detail sort of sticking out either side. So I'm happy with that. Right, mesh. Doesn't matter about all that weight one. So let's just play with this now. So you can see them here. I'm going to edit the anchor points on this material, drop them down a bit. So I want them to start where this is starting for that one. Oh, fudge. Yeah, it doesn't matter, just remove some. So I'll just get rid of them, get rid of that mask, and then drag that up there. That can be this one. I want that fold to complete in the middle. We can get rid of this. Don't need. Don't need. Actually, yeah, we do need that just to complete that fold. That'll do. That'll do for that one. I'm happy with that one. So load that one in, drop this down there, plop that back in. Happy with that. So that now should generate that starting from the bottom. Which is nice. Now let's get some decent orientation. So let's just edit this from here for now. I don't want to mess with that one. We want to pull them out a bit. I could even just go into this and sort of do that myself. So that's looking alright. It's alright for a start. This isn't going to be the most, you know, incredibly realistic grass, because this is it's all game ready assets. So you've got to bear that in mind. If I wanted to do anything VFX, yeah, it'd be a different process. So that looks good for now. Not enough variation in size, so let's just play with that. Geometry, it would be in trunk. Don't need to do that. Shape, skin, not the radius. Spine, this is the one. So that's quite nice there, friends. Some nice curves going on. We could deform this a little bit more. So let's just do a bit more roll and a little bit more curl. That's quite nice. So let's just do a new blank. This is gonna be now some grass blades, just to fill in the bottom portion of the grass, so when you're looking at it top down you just don't see the emptiness, if you know what I mean. So let's just fix that. So let's just try big branches. That's not going to work. You need to start with a trunk. Radius down, spine, try 2 for now. Big branches. This shape, sorry, skin, this is just going to be a spline. Let's generate more of these. Radius, that's not what I'm doing. No, yeah. So I don't really mind about the radius. So shape, spine, we want these to be quite long. Let's just get a top-down view. That's not looking too bad. Let's generate a few more. Let's get some spread. That's good enough. Spiral. And now let's get some curvature to it so we can play with the gravity. I think maybe I need to mess with that, so that might be the one. So let's have a look what the gravity is going to do to this. It's still going to pull it down, which I don't want. Same with the ancestor. So how do I change the direction of the gravity? So let's just do 0.5 just to get it like that. I'm playing with the wrong one. I've just turned it off for now. Don't need to mess with that twist. Or maybe, actually, crank that up. Skin, can we change the orientation? Is there a setting? Is it in spine? Is it in gem? Yeah, rotation. Let's see what that's going to do. No, not the position. Oh, that's quite nice. I'm trying to curve these, and I forgot how to do it. Would it be in here? There you go, that's sort of what I'm going for. So trying to curl these round this way. So that's quite nice. let's add another force. Let's try direction. So that's not going to do anything. So we can remove that. I'll just leave it, it's not doing nothing. So that's not bad actually. Now let's just get some blades of grass, because this is just going to cover the ground. So we just want some standard grass blades like this. So I'll download them, that'll do for now. And then we'll replace all of these branches with a fronds. Let's just plonk that on top, just ready. There it is. And then we can turn them into splines for now. Perfect. Materials. Who's in the chat? I've not even been watching. So, right. Grass blades. Let's load in. Let's find my grass blade. Let's find it. Where is it? There you go. Load these maps in. Opacity. Gloss. Oops, that's not the one. Spec. Translucency. Subsurface 0.8 just for now. Use this roughness again. Happy with that. Mesh. Edit. Pick a blade of grass. So I'll go for this one. Don't why are you giving me them? Now because this is going to be rendered as an atlas, poly count doesn't matter. I'm just generating a texture at this point, so that's why you see me add so many details into this. So there's my grass blade. Set this up, get the orientation looking good. All three of them, happy days. Apply this on the fronds now. Grass blades, and there you go, that's sort of what I'm after. Don't like the scale, so let's just spine length. That's some variation. That's much better. Can we add variation to our force? No? Anyway, that'll do for now. Let's just XY plane, set the lighting up because we are going to be rendering this. So we're going to try and get this dead center. Just play with these values. Perfect. Right, so for now, happy with that. So let's just copy these two, plug that in next to it, add another material, has some different variations. So just add new. I'm not going to name them properly, so let's just go back, plonk all these back in. Normal, there, gloss, roughness, spec, get them all in. Translucency, subsurface, use that 0.8. It's usually a typical value, which is works good enough. That's why I keep just using the 0.8. Same thing. We're gonna go for a more dead grass, so I'm happy with that one. That'll do. And then just add some extra geometry either side. That'll work well. Set this. Get the right rotation, straight down the center. Happy, happy, happy. Apply it. There you go. Now just play with these values. No, please. There you go. Thank you. We could curl it a little bit more, or maybe the other way, just for some extra variation. That's quite nice. That so generation. Add a few more of these. That's quite nice, actually. We'll do the same again. Same thing. Just creating another variation, just to break up the repeating patterns. So grass, beaver blade, grass blade 3. Straight in here, same thing, just plonking them in. I can just duplicate the textures, but it creates issues when creating the meshes. It's really poor at recognizing, and you end up just editing all the other meshes, so it's no good. So edit, let's just find another one with some slight different variation. So I'll go for that one. Don't need to add too much information. So that'll do. Straight down the center, there, that's done. Apply this now on here. Play with this, so we could do some add a bit more spread. Change the rotation. Play with the scale as well for this one. So shape, spine, scale. These can be a little bit smaller, and I could do the same with this one. So again, just variation. This one, I like the idea of curling the other way. So just trying to create some randomness by playing with the graph. As you can see, no, you're not going to get too much of a uniform curl. It's going to mess around with the shape, so that's all right. I quite like that. I could do with generating some more, so let's just see what I can do in here. So let's just do 0, 1. So that's adding some more. So that's quite a nice start. So let's get this rendered. We want to before we do anything, window show safe frame 124 by 124. Fill as much texture space as we possibly can. So that will do. Now export material. I want it at 2K. No shadows. So let's foliage grass, and we'll just call this so add now a leaf mesh. We want one leaf generated. So there you go. Get this sky facing. So it's flat. Quickly we'll apply the material. So ground cover. Find where we saved the atlas. It'll be in here. That'll be good enough. Grass. Yep, so it's going to load everything in for me, which is nice. Now edit this mesh. So as a starting point, we'll just do this, because we want it to we're going to have some nice folds on this. So we could just add some extra information around there. That can be in the center, so that can be the high. And then let's just think. Let's get that covered a bit more. There we go. Could do that for the medium, and then for the low poly, we don't want to lose that center point, because that's where we're going to get a nice fold. So we could just try and work with this a bit more. Get all the grass covered as best as possible. So that's good. That's good. That can be the low poly. Make sure they're all set to two-sided. There you go. There you go. And just apply that now to this one. Nice. So you can see what I'm kind of gonna do with this one already. So I'll just position this freehand into the center as best as possible, and then Sorry, wrong one. That's the this is the one. So skin size, we're gonna crank this up. Really big. Orientation, sky influence 1, so this is pointing directly up. Don't want any fold. Let's go now into here. So we could add a bit of fold, a bit of curl, and some, not much twist. Noise. That's pretty cool. And then let's just grab that. Just fix. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Fix the rotation manually. It's not very good at selecting objects. Okay. Maybe if I place that on top of there, maybe. No, it's not gonna work. So that's the one. We just changed the orientation. So let's just place this over here again. Right, I'm happy with that for now. Oh, I left my phone off. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Right, drop the position. Let's find it. Gen. I'll just do it manually. You get better control. So that's not looking too bad. Again, it doesn't look photorealistic. That's not the plan. This is game ready grass, so you have to understand that I'm trying to keep all of this as low poly as possible. So what I'm going to do here is I'll add zones, and I'll just do one zone, and I'll place all that. Do you know what? It didn't interfere with that too much. But it did a little bit, so I'm just going to go back in here. I'm obviously going to have to change my settings by hand, so Skin. Where's the orientation? There it is. Fronds. Now this again, as the orientation's kind of gone a bit funny, so we'll mess around with the settings and see what we can do. Preferably we'll try it with this. So right, position. Just leave 0. I'm just going to edit the nodes myself. So is it not going to give me the option to? No? If not, then that's fine. Alright, fair enough. I'll just work with what I've got. So let's just shrink the scale of this. It's annoying that I can't position it down. I wanna. It's too high up, so. Don't want to play with the lighting for now. Not really necessary. Okay. So copy and paste this into the zone, and then I'm just going to replace that there, and then I'll just I'll just play with the settings with this one. So spine length, okay. Start orientation, that's okay. Try skin, you might get some more control. Zero. Why can't I make it go up and down? That's what I'm after. I just want to sync it a little bit. It's really annoying. Can I do it in the leaf mesh? Well, it's no big deal. We'll just work with that for now. Well, preferably we'll just have to go into skin, and we'll just change our deformation controls. So we'll just figure out So we're just going to apply and just flatten it more in the center for all of these values. And that's not so bad. I'm kind of happy with that. So, and then we just change the orientation. So let's just no, sorry, I don't want to mess with the lighting. That's better, much better. There you go. Now let's try, let's just, oh no, is it this one? That's better. There. Now let's just mess with these values in the deformation, see what else we can do. We can lift them up a bit more, curl them up a little bit more, and maybe get rid of the twist, not necessary. So that is sort of what I'm after, so that's quite nice. I'm happy with that. So let's just go back into these, control them a little bit more. Right, so that'll do for now. So zone, we're going to add a few more zones. Maybe one or two, maybe 1, 2. We'll try 2 for now. So 3 will do. We can do relative. We'll just keep it on absolute. 0. Pull them in a little bit more. Push out the position, pull them in a little bit more, and then push them out a bit. So that's 264, and that's some decent looking grass for now. I could play with these zones a little bit. I'm not too happy with that. So that's much better. So that's quite nice. That will fill out a good portion of the landscape, so happy with that. Position, that will do. Rotation doesn't matter. So that's a nice starting point, and that's 260. As you can see, when we drop down, we're at 130, and then the low poly, once I get there, is 60. So we want to correct this popping, so you can see pop and pop. So we'll fix that in our properties. So let's just figure out what's happening. So let's just go into global dynamic LOD leaves. So we can tighten this up a little bit, so we're not impacting too much on the leaf generation. We could do the same with the fronds. No, so we're not losing all of the detail, so we can just plump that up a little bit more. So let's have a look. So that's 150. And that's 90. So that's very good. So we're looking at some of the leaves changing size. So is this to do with the fronds? Let's have a look. So if I just put that there. Yeah, so no, we will drop that down. We'll just go for a mid-range, and so that's 260. That's 150. And that's 78. So we can do the leaf mesh. We'll just go on all, and we'll look for dynamic LOD. And we can play with the scale factor to try and not interfere too much with the scale. So we can drop this down a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. I'll try 0. Let's just 0 that out. So that goes. That goes. So I'm quite happy with that. That's not bad at all. That. And it's quite a nice grass, so that's going to fill the landscape quite nicely, placed around everywhere. So maybe we could do something more with. Can we not individually? Placement. Oh, this is what I'm sort of after. So not that one, not that one. There you go. Get a different bit of a rotation. So that's quite nice. Right, I'm happy with that. So add some wind. You don't have to, but it's always nice to mess around. So we'll just do better. Wind wizard, you want to select what it is you're doing. So set them for me. Calm. I'll have it calm for now. Yeah. Long narrow leaves, wide flat fronds, pine needles, large coconut. So I'll do pine. We'll see what that does. So that's not done nothing. Just too breezy. Right, that's much better. I don't want any gusting, so let's get rid of that. So just turn that off for now. Let's just turn this up here just to see what happens. I don't like that, so let's do a bush. Let's have a look what a bush does. No. Just playing around with this, just trying to get a decent effect. So we'll go back on grass, let it pick. So that's not bad at all. I wish there was more strength, so get rid of the gusting. Ripple distance. There you go, so that's much better. Ah, please don't crash. Yeah, you can adjust the lighting for me. So that's nice. Drop the strength, 0.5. Slow it down. Turn this ripple down, maybe 0.1 will do. 0.05. That's nice. That's quite nice. So we can go ahead now and export this. Fingers crossed it looks nice. So grass, and we'll just call this grass variation 1. Everything here is fine. So let's just export that. And usually it looks good in SpeedTree and Poop and Unreal Engine, but let's just have a go at seeing what happens here. So don't need them. Just delete them for now. Import foliage, grass, and grass test, grass variation 1. We do want everything, so purple. So yeah, the lighting isn't great, which was what I was worried about, but it's all right. We'll see what we can do with that. There'll be a fix for it. Probably did too much curl, but we're okay. LOD's custom. We'll just set these up quickly. So usually I do a 0.2, 0.07, and a 0.55. That usually does me. LOD 1, 2, 1, 2, so that's okay. In the material, let's just turn off this grass for now. A good thing about having it all procedurally generated is it's just a checkbox. On, it places it for me. Off, so that's a good thing. So for now, let's just see how it looks with the lighting. It might look a bit better. So we'll just see. We'll just try 100. So that doesn't look too bad at all. It could do with editing, definitely. Change the wind and change some of the colour. but it's not bad. It is a first pass. It's got to take some tweaking and some editing to get it looking right. I could just play around with the material nodes really. For example, if I just open up this brightness 0.5, it already looks better, and then maybe play with this, desaturate it a little bit. There you go. So that doesn't look too bad. The wind is a bit ridiculous, so I've set that on purpose. So let's just put them back to normal. Let that calm down. So with this being a first pass, I'm obviously going to make some changes. So I don't mind how that's looking, transitioning in between LODs. But I'm not happy with the grass length, so let me just, in case anyone's in chat. So let's just drop the size, scale down a bit, pull them in maybe a bit more. Oh, sorry, we'll do it in this trunk. Like that. That'll do. And then these as well. So skin, size, we do want to drop them. And the orientation's off, so we'll fix that because so it's not that one. Let's try raise it up. Drop that bit, put that there. I'm sure I got rid of all the variation in this, so let's just flatten them out. That's better, and then we'll just redo this because I'm not liking how they were looking. So 0 0 0 0. Start again with them. So let's just try fold again up a little bit. So that's done it uniformly on both sides. So that's this center being folded less, which is what I'm after. So do 0.5. And then try 0.5 and drop this side down again. So kind of maybe 2.5. Okay, I'm gonna have to flatten these back out because it's causing a bit of issue. So for now, let's just flatten them back to max, and then we'll just play with it from here. So curl that up there, and then curl it up a little bit there, and there, up, and like that. that's not so bad. Skin, change the size again. Why can't we change the, what's it called? The height. I want it to go down. So let's just hide everything for now. And one each. That's all we need. Just set this back to polygons just so we can see it. And then gen. So that's out. That we don't want to mess with. Position. Rotation position is in and out. That's up and down. That's the one. Right. So sync them. H, 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 and H. So this one. So there's three, and there's three tubes. So I want them to. Why do they not spawn in on all three tubes then? That doesn't make sense. That should. Right, let's just I've obviously messed around too much, so that's okay. That's what I'm after. So I've got the splines, got them. All I do is what, sync. That's better. So sync them a bit. Turn it up a little bit more, so that's good. Orientation's off, so let's just sort of fix that. So I'm obviously on the wrong one. So orientation, final adjustments, turn them both right. Opposite way, is it? No, so that's up. Maybe get rid of the right and get rid of the out. So that's not so bad. Sky influence is up. Align, clearly doesn't matter. Face doesn't matter. Right there, happy with that. So let's just unhide everything. See if we can play with the scale a bit more of this one. So let's have a look in skin, scale X, so Y, so Z maybe. Didn't really do much, so that's sort of what I'm going for. Let's release some of this folding. So we'll drop that down a bit, drop that down a bit. That's not looking so bad. Scale these a bit again, scale them a bit too much. So that's alright. Play with the general scale here now, so size them down a bit, raise them up a bit more, that'll do. But that's much better. Now all we got to do now is just tighten this, so get them about there. There you go. First and last boundaries, so pull them in a bit. Oops. So yeah, that's not too bad, that. Position, it doesn't really matter. Pull them in now. So that I'm happy with. Still could be more variation in height, so let's just play with that. It's not going to be in here, it's going to be in here rather. So if we can just hide all of that, just focus on this. So play with the length, and then you can drop it down a bit, unhide everything. Sort of the one. Drop it a little bit more maybe. Drop them a little bit more. So that I'm happy with for now. Well, let's go. We'll go and have a look now. We'll re-export this. First of all, I'm just going to mess with this these settings. So we're going to tone down the grass. Desaturate it a little bit. Add a tiny bit of red to the values. Actually no, I'm happy with that, so that'll do for now. So the gloss wasn't so bad. The specular should just be using that map, but I'll just change the colour there. Subsurface, we can play with. That I'm just happy being one, so that's good. We'll do that for all of them. Secondary detail, could maybe. Darken, no, let's not darken them too much. Make them a little bit brighter. Gloss is one. I want to use the PBR's map. Specular, drop down. These two I'm happy with. Could even just just do one for that. And then have I got any more ground cover? I was fine with the colour. Gloss 1. We'll just try 2. 1. Normals 1. That's good. So export this one. Okay. And then just override this, and this. Maybe that, yeah. That, and that. Re-import. So I can already see an issue with the gloss. That's a bit too reflective for me, that. But hey, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Yes. So material 1 and 2. Roughness is controlled by this. The alpha. So just to save time, we'll just go back and do the default values in here, and then just re-export it. So 0.25 was that one, and same for this one. 0.25. Control E, and I'm 264 polys. I'm happy with that. I did set a max of 250. Okay, I'm a little bit over, but not a substantial amount. So I don't need to mess around with that. So I'm sure we can just re-import these textures. That should fix my issue with the gloss there. So there you go. Much better. And you know what? It doesn't look too bad. Right, so at this point, we can paint them out, and then all we have to do to place this around the landscape, just to see how it looks, is go into, this is the way I've set it up, this is a good reason why. So go into my foliage. I've created a grass type which houses all the foliage I want to place, and what I can just do is just replace this with this. Boom. So happy with that. I'll go ahead and I'll do it for all 3. This one, and this one. Save, and then in my material, just tick the foliage on, let it build, and there you go. Happy days. It doesn't look too bad. So let's see how it's impacting performance. So I'm still within the 40s, and do you know what? It doesn't look too bad at all. It really doesn't look too bad at all. So I'm quite happy with that. There's no wind movement to it. I'm not massively concerned. Maybe I just need to turn it up with an Unreal Engine. So let's just play with these settings here. So let's just try 0.5 just for dramatic effect. See what happens here. So there's some movement to it, but it's not much. So let's just I'll play around in here, try and get a better wind. So the fronds don't seem to have any wind applied to them, which they should. Not too sure why, but let's just have a look. So we did it for grass, so let's just apply that. That looks quite nice. A bit drastic, but it doesn't matter. Let's just see how this is going to look now. So yes, yes, yes. Re-import. Let this build. Gusting, I want to turn off. So maybe I could just go into here and just play with the settings, maybe for the wind. Just try 10 and just see what happens when I place it in there. Might not do anything, but we'll just see. So it didn't do anything. I guess we'll just have to go in SpeedTree and just see what happens if we just drastically increase the wind in here. So okay, yeah, let's just see. So get them, get them, get them. Re-import again. Luckily it doesn't take too long for my computer to build shaders, otherwise this would be a grueling process. Let's just try a 1 wind strength. See if that makes a difference. 0.5. 0.25, and let's do 0.7. 1. Try 1.5. So I'm just fine tuning just to basically get the sort of look I'm after. So that's not bad at all. Let's just have a look. So right at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill more surface area without playing around with the density. So the way I usually go around doing this is just play with the min and max values really. So I'm going to do for the close-up grass a max of maybe 2 and 2 just to see how that looks, and yeah, just to have a look. 1, I don't really want to mess with the height too much. Sorry. Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just need to sort something out. So back to where I was anyway, sorry about that. Just playing with the scaling, X and Y values, just to get a nice look, so I'm happy with that. So that's going to be the furthest distance, so that's 7,000, 6,005, so so we've got quite a nice fill in terms of the amount of grass, which is nice. I'm really happy with that. There could probably be a little bit more colour variation, so I'll tackle that. Actually, I'll have a go at tackling that now in the material, so let's just go back to my grass. SpeedTree colour variation. Amount, we'll try 0.5. It's probably a bit drastic, so let's try 0.05 and just save that, see what happens. So we have a little bit of variation going on. You can see it's done something. So we'll just copy these two nodes and we'll apply it on the front material, because that's the this is the main grass material. So we'll apply that there and there. See what sort of look we get. So that's not so bad at all. That I'm not quite happy with that. So that's nice. So what I'm going to do, just for the sakes of my own, just to get a good idea of how the landscape's going to look, I'm going to actually apply this grass everywhere. Let me just have a look back to my reference, because this is it's all quite fuzzy looking grass, so it's kind of what I wanted to go for to start with. As a base, so it looks okay. There's a lot of variation in plants I can create, and that'll help fill the landscape. But let's just see what there is here. So that's quite cool. So I think I'm just gonna play around a little bit here. And just create another variation of more smaller, fuzzier grass, and just see how that looks. So I've got that, and I can just reuse this for now. Disable the wind. I don't need it on. It's quite easy. So in my materials, I just make another one. Fuzz grass, that'll do. Just rename that. Load in that atlas. So I'll just locate that file. Just find where it was. This is the one. So let's load in all of these maps. Opacity, normal, gloss, spec, subsurface. Same with just reuse that. Do a 0.7 mesh, edit, and we'll just create a mesh for this one also. Starting about here. We're going to be a bit more considerate with the poly count of this one, so yeah, add that one fold, that will do. I want the fold to be positioned more up here, because the starting point of the grass is going to be there, so that's good for me. That'll work. Add the anchor point all the way up here. That can be the high poly. Maybe adjust that a little bit there, just spread that out. That works. Now fudge. That'll do, and then just get rid of that, that. And this one can be for the low poly. That's better. And then we'll just replace it with this. So we can now, it's quite uniform, the scale of this grass. So we can adjust it by dropping it a little bit. We can actually remove that leaf mesh, and we can play with the generation. So and then in this atlas, what we can do, we can increase, and increase this as well. So we're just getting a little bit more fill out of this, as you can see. Trying to fill up more surface area, so that works. That works quite well. So 2B. File, export material. We're just going to replace this. That should automatically update every map, which it has, so that's not so bad. We'll play with that, it could be a bit more vibrant, so just saturate it. We could edit the mesh. That seems to work well, so let's drop the size down. Here's a big problem. We didn't two-side this material, so it doesn't look great. Or did we? No. Oh, that's much better. That's kind of what I'm looking for now. So that's really good. So we'll play with the variation of the length with this one. So that'll do, and we can just do this. Have some randomness. Generation. Spread. We can crank up spiral. Not really doing anything. Add some more rotation. This one we can remove the sink a little bit, just to get a bit more of a full texture cover. So that's looking a lot more full. I'm thinking if we could possibly narrow these at the bottom. I'm not massively fond of how they're looking. So can we change? Let's see the width. So 1. Let's have a go. So that's narrow and that's tall. So no, I need it the other way round. So let's just flatten that back out. I've got an idea. So we'll just leave it like that for now. We'll have a look at changing in the skin if this will it work? No, it won't. H. Let's unhide everything. So drop them in the mesh for the ground cutout edit. I'm going to add some supporting geometry here in the corners. This is where I want there to be a fold, so I'm going to add that in. That can be for the high. As you can see, that's created that nice fold now there. So I could even edit the mesh, maybe push this out a little bit more. Now with these properties, drop the back end down, not too much, that's okay. Nope, undo that, just play with them. There's something funny going on with the rotation, so let's just have a look if I've messed with that at all. So orientation, sky influence, turn all these settings off. Yeah, that's better. I had a feeling it might be something I've set. So that's up. Now let's get some more. Now trunks, fronds, let's play with the boundaries. It's a bit better. We can drop the frequency a bit. Uh, 400. So count 4. We'll do a 3 count. 300. It's not looking so bad, but there are going to be a lot of these, so we could even try and drop this a little bit more. That's 180. Could maybe adjust the boundaries just to get a few more in there. $300, still a bit too many, so that's okay. That's not so bad. So let's, for now we can see how this looks. So just we'll play with this dynamic LOD just to try and get a few of them back. That sort of works, and it's only 55. So yeah, happy with that. The transition's quite nice as well. So go ahead and export this as grass type 2. Just see how this looks. So what I can now do is in here just reuse what I've got. So I can copy, add a new array, a blank one, and paste. And then I can locate the grass, which I'll just import in here. And then just plug that in there. So just grab this, place it there. So what I want to do with this one is I'm going to drop this now to about 3,500, but then increase the density to about 150. And 2, 3, 3, 2. And 1.5. Now they look rubbish. I'm not happy with them at all. So I'm just gonna go back in SpeedTree now and just try and just start again. So I'm gonna save this because this isn't a bad. It's not a bad start. So grass, that one. So file, new, blank. Actually, I can always do that again. So we can play around with this template. Which is already set up for us. So I'm not happy with that template for the grass. I didn't like it, so I'm actually going to have a look at some of the other atlases and see what I can work with. That's not so bad. I could mess around with that one. I'm gonna reuse it. Let's just have a look. So let's just see. We'll just plonk it in here. Opacity. Normals, roughness, spec, subsurface, which is the translucency, and this one we'll use the roughness again, 0.8. So that's poop. That looks really poop. So let's just reset this. I don't mind starting from the base, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of crop some of them out like this. This is what I'm thinking. So we can place that there. We can just stretch that up just to get some coverage. Keep this nice and tight. Same with this. I'm happy with that. That works. So we want to fold it straight down the middle. We've got a fold here. So that there could actually work quite nice. We could maybe get some additional information, and then we can remove these for the medium poly. work with that, and then we could remove that for the low. 1, 2, so that's not, oh, we could even get rid of that as well, so that's even better. So that works. So my issue was, the issue with that grass is you can see within the engine, you can see the planes. The planes ain't really hidden that well. You can see where they're flat. So I'm going to try my best now to sort of correct the issue. So this is a good starting point. So we'll just add a little bit of fold. Variation can't hurt. So already that's looking a bit better. Whoops. Curl again, variation helps, so we'll just we'll play with that, and twist, variation as well. So and we could even go as far as play with the, is there a start angle? No, we don't want a variation. Yeah, no variation on the lighting. We could play with these values as well, just to further try and randomize some of the positioning. So that's looking okay, but at the same time it's still looking a bit poop, so So what I was thinking, I'll use this mesh, get an anchor point set up for that one, same thing for this one, same thing for this one, and then finding another material. So let's just have a quick look. For example, something like this, or see what there is. That could work. We'll try with this one. This one might work well. So let's get that downloaded. We'll match the colour. So let's add another material. Okay. Let's load it. Nope, spec. Let's get that plugged in. And translucency, one of the most important. Get that plugged in. Reuse that. 0.7. Edit the mesh. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should work. That should work for that one. So Where's that silly setting I don't flipping need? Is it skin? Spread? No. Spine, is it? Is it this place? No. I thought it was floating, it's not, it's just the way it looks. So let's just add fronds back onto this, set our material, blades 1, that's a spline, happy with that. Where's leaf? Add a leaf mesh onto the fronds. Just creating a little bit of extra variation. So materials, do we want a two-sided both of these? That's better. We could brighten that up a little bit, saturate that a little bit more, and definitely add some more contrast back to it. Just trying to match the colour, so that's okay, I'm happy with that for now. So let's add some deformation to this one, deform it a little bit. So add a little bit of curl, a little bit of roll. That looks okay for now. Just maybe reduce these settings a little bit. Yeah, turn these off. Actually, the roll isn't such a bad thing. Same with the leaf mesh. Trunk tubes, add some more generation. Definitely jumbled them. Sweep, don't really care. Push the boundaries out a little bit, like so. Maybe not too much. So we could push them out a bit. Count, we can do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's quite nice. Poly's still 68, so we could even do 5 generations on this one, which is even nicer. Quite happy with that. Play with the length. So radius, no, sorry, these settings are a bit all over the place, so we'll drop these down a little bit to about there. Same with this. So under skin size, we could use actual size, but drop them just sort of matching a little bit. So that's pretty cool. That's quite nice. Drop this. If I drop this generation down to 4, no. So 4 will do. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it out with some smaller patches. So just copy and paste that. Place that in the zone. We could just get them. Rotation. See, we're already starting to fill out some more areas. We could do count 5. Pull the boundaries in a little bit, like so. And these are going to be smaller details. So we'll drop the length down, as you can see here. There you go. Push the boundaries out maybe a little bit more, so we can see what's going on a little bit. Okay, now I've done the same with these leaf meshes, so I'm playing with the variations here, so we could just go maybe a little bit backwards and forwards on this one. So that's looking pretty good. We could definitely do with reducing the settings maybe on that. So that's add a little bit less roll. Could maybe do the same with this one. So drop the roll a little bit on that one. So let's have a look. Let's try and change some of the orientation. So that's sort of what I'm after. Play with the variation. Start angle, we could just play with that a little bit as well. Alignment, yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll do the same thing in this. So just tiny little bits of variation will do. So that's looking a lot less uniform, which I'm happy with. It's not looking so bad at all. That poly count 150, and that's still quite a full grass, so that's quite nice. So what I've not done in this one is change the size of that one, so we'll do that now. Actually, so what we I'm going to mess with the size a little bit more with this one, but more with the variation. So same thing with that, but we'll do the same thing with this as well, because that's a bit too uniform. I'm not liking that. So So that's actually a lot nicer. We could let's just try with that as well. See what sort of effect we get. So that's not too bad at all. We're still within the poly count that I would have liked to have been in, so I'm happy with that. Now what I'm thinking is get one of these, or maybe there was a decent one, like something like that would do quite nice. So materials, add do the ground cover. So that's good. Load in my material. Let's oops, gone back too much. I always end up in that folder. So tree debris, is this the one? No. Grass wild, nope. 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 Yes. Albedo. Opacity. Normal. Gloss. Spec. Translucency. And we'll just reuse which one? That might work for the subsurface. We just do a 0.7, and this came with an AO, which is nice, so we'll throw that on. Now let's create a mesh. Not an anchor, please. Starting point centered. Some details on the outer. Trying to get all the grass covered. Bit of an awkward shape, so I'll try my best to work with it. It's very annoying that. So let's just pull that in. Pull that there, and then this one here, and then one center point. That can be the low and the mid, and maybe for the high I'll try again with this supporting detail. Plank. Oh, whoa, that's that's better. And then let's see, in the zone on the tubes. I'm not going to do it on the tubes this time, so I'm just going to click add a leaf. Yeah, just do a leaf mesh. We'll do the orientation. Simplest way, sky facing up, flat down to the ground. Stick the material on this. There you go. Gen, same as the last one, interval. Pull the boundaries in. I'll do a 4 count. Skin size, we can drop that a bit. We'll play with these properties now, so don't need to do nothing with that one. Fold it up a little bit, curl it up. So let's try and keep these values the same. Mostly. Now we'll try and drop that. A little bit. So that'll work. That will actually work for now. So that seems to be some nice values. Pull this in. Let's get something, like I say, get a bit more coverage there. And what I'm thinking, so at 313 for this, bit too much. So I'm happy with the 3. I'll just play with the scale and again play with the boundaries under generation, pull it in a bit more like so. Spread, I'm not too interested in using, I don't need to spread it. There you go, rotation, sorry. So I'm going to try and adjust them. That's much better. So these I could definitely play more with some of the orientation settings here. So I'm going to just mess around because that's a bit better, and the same with this one. That's a little bit better. Maybe drop the boundaries on this one as well a bit more. Just tighten it. Just pull them in. Same with this one. Just pull them in just to fill that sort of middle space. Like so. I'm sure we could get a bit more rotation on these. Let's have a look in, is it in spine? Alignment, roll. Right, so that's not looking too bad at all. It's not amazing, but we'll work with that for now. Let's just try and get this matched. Add a bit of contrast, saturate it maybe. No, but I could do it a bit more red. What is it? Yeah, a little bit. So wind settings, properties, grass, breezy, okay. Don't need gusting. Ripple distance 0.2, whoops, definitely not 0.05. That's sort of what I'm after. Kind of. There's a few. I see there's a few issues with the movement. So 0.01. So we'll add a little bit less of that. Is it blades 2? So I've got that set, all of them. So let's just give this a shot, see how this one looks. It shouldn't look too bad. I made some decent changes to it. Again, I'm still learning myself how to use the software, so I'm not going to be amazing, but I know enough to kind of get some decent looking grass for now. That's looking okay. No, I still see too many issues with that one. Which is okay. I'm not really too fussed about that at all. That was just more of an experimental piece. But for now, I'll go ahead and remove that. I'm still not happy with the ground coverage I'm getting from this, so let's just play with the values with these. So I've done 2, 2, 3, 3, 1.5 works for that one as well. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 2, 2, 3, 3. So right, that's working quite well. That grass turned out quite nice. I'm getting a lot more coverage, which I'm really happy about. And do you know what? It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all, especially around these areas. It's nice and full, which is what I'm after. So I'm just going to now apply this to the rest of the landscape. So let's just come inside of here. And what I'll do is we'll just clear that one out for now, and we'll just save that. Where's the error? Input is missing. Okay, I understand. So let's just delete that then, and that way the material will be happy. So this is my landscape material, if nobody's seen. It's not the most advanced landscape material you can make. And within the limits of like texture samples. I mean, instruction count's not too high. It's one thing I've been keeping an eye on. So escape, no, blend. Just trying to keep everything organized. Whoa. Placer. And that's just a main, so that's just my variation. I'm just going to tighten all of this up a little bit, just to keep it nice and tidy. I'm not trying to use too much space, so that'll do. That'll do. That will get scrapped. Obviously I thought it was a good idea, makes a good difference, but because the ground's going to be covered in mostly foliage anyway, you're not even going to see that variation, so yeah, kind of pointless. So now what we can do is, now these are out the material, just go ahead and delete them, and just copy and paste this one here. There you go. And then inside of this, I'll just remove any of the foliage I'm not going to be using. So let's just have a look what's in here. Weeds, yes. Mostly the ferns. I don't really want the ferns in here. I don't mind them, all of them. I'll just leave it like this for now. So we'll drastically turn this down. So we'll do a 40. That's a 60. So we'll do a 20 will work for that one. And I'll just do a 20 for this one as well. What else is in here? That's an 80. So again, we'll do a 40 for that one. 20. 20. 10. So 2. 2. So I'm just editing the density values because I want these to spawn a lot more, less frequent than all the others. I'll keep that 4, just some variation in spawning. 3, 2, just random values. Ferns, I don't want. Don't want that one. Weeds, this is 100, so again just drop that down to 35. What's this one? 35. 35. So that'll be our secondary layer. So let's just have a go at placing this to try and fill some more of the surface area. So landscape material. Add another grass type. Copy this. Grass 2. What I can do is I can tighten them, just pull these forwards and then keep that at the back because that's going to control all of the values. So for now, let's just save. These mountains are going to go, same with them, I don't like them. I'm going to recreate that mountain formation into something more like this, because this is more of a hilly, sort of like it's more hills than it is mountains. So already that's looking okay. Trying to figure out what whereabouts that's applied. So I'll just figure out now what I think that's 4, layer 4. So what I'll do is I'll just go into the tiling just to find out. So 4 tile amount. Yep. So just go back into this. We'll change the texture sample. 4. Save. Did that work? Did I do the correct thing then? Grass 4. So maybe it's going to spawn and it's taking a while. compiling. There you go. That's a good sign. Maybe I just tick it off and on. Off. On. So there is an attempt to spawn on here, so maybe I've just got to play with the values. Or maybe there's something gone wrong somewhere. So let's just look at these. Grass 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's grass 4. Texture sample, grass 4. Into grass 2, which I have set up to no grass. My fault. So save and let's compile again. There you go. We'll play with the density. That's way too much. But I'm happy it's worked. So in our foliage, let's go back and adjust them values quite drastically, so we can get a good indication of what's happening. So this is grass 2. Try 10. 10. 10. 10. Dropping them significantly low, just so we can get a good idea of what's happening, and we'll just work up rather than work down. So we can see that so this is one area there. This is layer 4. So I'm going to remove that color variation. I don't like that. So let me just quickly in my foliage grass, let me just remove that out of there. Save that. I'm going to wrap this up at about 4 o'clock, so another half an hour. It's just a bit distracting, that variation. We just see the grass for its true colour rather than alter it. So that's okay, that's quite nice. So what I'm going to do is what I'm liking and what I'm not liking. This patchy grass, not liking. So I'm going to drop this down on each 1, 5. These little patches, let's just see what they are. I don't mind, they're quite nice, so I put them at a 40. They're the thinner grasses. We'll do a 30 for this one, just to get some more variation. Again, 45 maybe. No, 35. I'll do. Drop it by 10. I'm happy with the way they spawn, but I would like to see more of these weeds. So we'll do a 50. And we'll just 50 all of these. values. But this is the good thing about procedurally generating your foliage as a good starter, because you can control all of these values and instantly the computer will just generate it and place it. So you get control over the placement, the density. You don't have to delete, repaint. It's so much easier. Definitely so much easier. So I don't mind these. I'm happy with the way they spawn for now. So that's quite nice. That I like that sort of what I'm going for. So I'll leave that at that. This is the more denser, and it's quite patchy, which I don't mind. So let's just have a run through and see what the FPS is doing. 40s. I'm going to play with the specular. I'm not too happy with how much is there, so I could maybe turn it down a little bit inside of the directional light. So actually, that won't make a difference. I'll just do that myself. So let's just go inside of here. That'll do for that. So we'll place that in the spec. We'll copy that node. Hopefully that should soak up some of that light reflection in the distance. If it doesn't do anything, I'll figure it out. Yeah, it didn't really do much. I'm thinking it could be a translucency. Where is it? Subsurface, it could be. There you go. That's so much better. So from the front it's lit, from the back it's still lit, but it's controlled. It's controlled a lot more. So 3.5, try 4. That's quite nice. That is much better. Much better. So I'm going to mess around with the distance, the LOD scales, because I do want to change the distances. So we'll try for LOD 0, try 0.07, and then we'll go for an 0.045 and try an 0.02. See what happens here. So 1, 2. Right, so that's it. The only issue with SpeedTree is controlling these values is it's just a little bit broken. Like I could do 0.00001 and you've got to be like ridiculously drastic with your numbers just to sort of get the effect you were going for. So there's too much reflection on these bits at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to change them. But we'll do 0.0. Sorry, a bit lost here. So this one 0.05. Yeah, type that in again. 0.01, and we'll try 0.007. So LOD 0, then 1, then 2. So that's a bit of a better transition. So I'm much more happy with that. So I'm going to darken these bottom parts. I'm not liking the way they're looking, so did I overwrite this file? I'm hoping not. Open. Damn, I did, didn't I? Oh well, never mind. No, I don't want to save either of them. So that's not looking too bad. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm probably going to leave it there and end the stream here. So if anyone did watch, thank you, I do appreciate it. Kind of happy with what I got done today. At the same time, I'm still new to learning SpeedTree, so I'm not going to focus too much on making all the foliage myself, because it'll take too much time to learn. So I'm going to be using some pre-made and making my own at the same time. So but yeah, it was a decent result. I've definitely learned a lot more about SpeedTree. Some of the things went wrong, so I know. So next time I make grass, I'll definitely make some better looking grass. But I'm going to end it here. So thank everybody for watching. I'll be doing the next one on Thursday, same time, and yeah, I'll see everyone on Thursday.